Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Shagnon. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Catalyst Acoustics Group. Before we start, I'll just let you know my intention in this call is to kind of walk you through our new Power BI scorecard dashboard that you have all been invited to attend this call because you all have access to this dashboard or will following this call. At the end of the call, we'll go ahead and answer any questions, and then as previously mentioned, we'll share the recording. And I'll give you a few more details of additional steps that need to be taken following this call. So with that, I'll just go ahead and dive in. What you're looking at right now is a fake scorecard. Bob's HVAC is a fake customer. We didn't want to share anybody's sales detail up here, so we purposely put some dummy data together. But essentially, if you have not already been contacted by Darren Riley, you will be. We've put together essentially scorecard targets or sales targets for each of the reps across each of the brands for Catalyst Acoustics. And these scorecard targets were basically generated through historical data, what's going on in the market, and what, essentially what we think can be done in the territories. So the goal of the scorecard is to be 100% transparent with our rep channel partners, to let them know how they're performing and to give them a chance to speak up if we're not performing, right? It's all about kind of relationship development and making sure we're working together to mutually grow the business. So I know that you guys did not receive scorecards in 2022, so this whole thing is relatively new to you. I don't know if you have other suppliers that do scorecarding, but I'm going to go through this in pretty good detail, knowing that you've not really had one or received one before. So basically what's going to happen is on or around the 7th of each month, which is essentially how many business days it typically takes us to close a month, right? Close a financial month. On or around the 7th business day of a new month, you'll be receiving an email that says, good afternoon, your scorecard for this month is ready to view. Click here to view it. This will be a link that is essentially a link you'll have access to starting today. So by no means do you have to wait to receive the link to view your data. The data is here and accessible for you guys dynamically whenever you want to see it. The point of the push email will be just to inform you that a new month's scorecard is available to view. And so that's what you're looking at right now. If you look at my screen, you'll see on the left-hand side here, I've got two tabs. I've got a dashboard tab and I've got a detail tab. We'll start with the dashboard tab, which is what I would consider a 30,000-foot view for you guys into your own data. So to be clear, the access you'll get into Power BI is access into your own activity. So if you are Bob's HVAC, if that's your rep name, only you will see your data. Only you will see your activity. We don't share this data with your customers. We don't cross-share information with other reps. This is essentially a window into your activity with IAC HVAC products. Okay, so it's strictly yours. You don't have to have any concerns about that information being shared. So what will happen is every month you'll get an email that says your scorecard is ready to view, and you can click on the link and you can come here to view your scorecard. Right now, I'm showing December year-end data because January hasn't ended yet. So this scorecard will reset itself in January to be, reflective of a 2023 target and your performance against that target through month-end January. So let's just kind of walk through the pieces and parts. Up here in the top, you'll see right now it says 2022 and 2021. Of course, when you receive this email in February, this will change to 2023 and 2022 respectively. It will show your year-to-date performance meaning shipments out the door, invoiced shipments, right? So this will show you what has shipped and then how that compares to your target and what is remaining for you to achieve your target. Beneath it is some annual growth detail that looks specifically at sales and orders. CY equals current year, PY equals prior year. So it's just a quick snapshot for you guys to gain an understanding of your, your shipment activity and your order activity with us year over year, and whether it's in growth or decline based on a snapshot in time. To the right of that, you'll see a year-to-date running total where you can look at your sales performance year over year, month over month. Right beneath that, there's a sales and an order section that gives you month by month detail of your year over year performance by month with a year-to-date total. Beneath that, you've got end market penetration. So we've worked really hard over the last 2 years to try to gain insight to where our products end up. So we have a contract with Dun & Bradstreet, and we have an API connection to their data so that when we drop ship for you, we're able to kind of give you input about where your product ends up. So the end markets, there are many, but in this example, you'll see, Bob's HVAC in 2021, 39% of the orders we shipped for him went into the manufacturing sector. 49 into construction, and 13 we don't know. So there's always going to be this area of we don't know, because if we ship to like a shipyard or a staging warehouse, it's not going to give us that information. But our hope is by sharing some of this with you guys, it gives you more insight to the markets and the end markets that you're being successful in, and those that potentially you could grow. Next to the end market penetration is the backlog section. Again, this is the scorecard, right? It's a dashboard, so 30,000 foot view. There are 3 codes that you see mentioned here, and these are the only 3 codes you'll see on your backlog report. We'll get into the detail in a little bit, but from a 30,000 foot view, this is what it looks like. RTS, that stands for release to shop. If you have an order with us that is RTS, that means the onus is on us as an organization to meet or beat the promise date that is in the system. OFA, out for approval. That means we received your order and the onus is on you, the rep, to get us final details before we can release it to the shop, whether that be a signed submittal, confirming sizes, all types of things, put an order in OFA. But this gives you insight to the fact that you've got a batch of orders sitting there that are, we need information from you to get them to release to shop. And then the final category is on hold, or OH. Typically, this is a financial hold. Either we're waiting on a deposit, or there's something going on with the terms. There's other reasons you would be on hold, but those are primarily the reasons that typically come up. So this just gives you a snapshot so you know exactly from a value perspective where your backlog is shaking out with IAC Acoustics. To the right of that, you see this area here. This is information that comes from our CRM, or our customer reporting management system. So we provide you with opportunities. Some of them are generated from our web leads from our website, and some are generated other ways. This gives you a snapshot about all the activity going on through our CRM. So how many leads we've sent you, whether they're non-web or web, how many of those turned into quotes, right? So quotes divided by leads gives you your lead to quote conversion. Beneath that, it's all of the stuff that you quoted, how many of those opportunities turned into actual orders, and what was the quote value, what was the final order value, and what was your win rate. So again, it's just a window into the activity that we do with you as a rep, so that you've got an understanding of kind of how it's all shaken out. To the right of that, there's a pie chart. Right now, it'll just basically tell you of the opportunities that we've provided to you, what % you have open, what % you have won, and what % you have lost. We'll continue to develop this to make it more detailed and granular as time goes on, but this is kind of a starting point. Beneath that, you've got product mix. So product mix essentially, and I don't want you guys necessarily, I just should switch this to an IAC example. That's my fault. Let me do that real quick. Down here, you've got a product mix section, right? So the product mix section essentially gives you, again, insight into the products that you're buying and reselling for IAC Acoustics, so that you can kind of see your percentage of, penetration by product line. So conic flow silencers, elbows, louvers, mixed silencers, packless silencers. It just gives you an eye into, where you're performing well and where maybe not so well. And maybe you're not performing well on a certain product because you don't focus on it. So it becomes a discussion point of, should you focus on it? And is it valuable to try to grow that product segment or not, right? It's just, again, information. Information is power. It helps us make good decisions, and we want to share information with you. So that just shows you kind of this rep, you know, Bob's HVAC. This is kind of how he's performed in 2022. And then finally, down in the bottom left, you'll see this webinar section. You guys all know we do tons of webinars throughout the year. This gives a rep insight into who from their firm has attended webinars and what their overall attendance rate of that is. You know, a lot of our reps, you know, hold their employees accountable to staying educated. So they find this valuable because it gives them information about the level of, you know, commitment from their employees regarding certain product lines. So that's what the scorecard is. As I mentioned, it's a monthly snapshot of your performance. This is a dashboard that I would consider static throughout a month. So for instance, this is a year end through December, and it will remain until we reset it to include January, which, as I mentioned, will be on or around the 7th or the 8th. So once a month, this will get updated. You'll get an email that lets you know it's been updated with a clickable link that brings you to it. Beneath the dashboard tab is a detail tab. And what the detail tab is essentially includes all the detail that drives to these totals up here, right? So you can see line item detail of your quotes, your orders, your shipments, your backlog with IAC Acoustics HVAC products. You can also gain access to Pipe Drive. So any deals that we send you, when I say we, if Darren sends you an opportunity, it will be present here so that you can see it. You can see the status that it is marked in the system. And then there's the Go to Webinar tab. So again, on the dashboard, you saw 30,000 feet, right? The webinar information. In the detail tab, you gain access to the actual line item detail. Who in your organization has attended the webinar? What was the name of the webinar? How long did they stay? All of that information. And it's really just meant for you, right? For you to be able to see what's going on, the kind of activity that's going on within your organization. Right now, when I'm looking at this backlog, I'm seeing order date. We do intend to include promise date so that you can see kind of the date we said we would deliver. It's not in this demo, but it will be included in your scorecard. Also, all of this data is exportable into Excel. So there's a little tab over here that I can't get to because I'm sharing my screen, but there's a drop down. There it is, 3 buttons or 3 dots. You see that? You can export any data you want into Excel so that you can manipulate it any way you want. The detail tab is not static. It's dynamic in that it updates once a day. So if you were to come into your scorecard dashboard in the middle of February, what you would see on this dashboard tab is your January year-to-date scorecard. What you would see on your detail tab is everything up through the day before you're in there. So if you come in on February 15th, you're going to see detailed data on all of these tabs through February 14th. Sorry, yeah, I think I said 15th. If you come in on the 15th, you'll have everything up until the 14th, and so on and so on. It updates once a day. And we want to do that so that you have just-in-time access to the granular data in our ERP, in our business system associated with your account. We just feel like the more transparent we are with you, the easier it is for you to manage your business, and the easier it is for us to mutually grow. It's easier to come in here and look yourself than try to get a hold of somebody and wait for an answer, right? So that's the whole mentality here, is trying to provide a self-serving dashboard portal where you can access your own information. The detail tab will hold 3 years worth of data. So you can come in here at any time and you can filter, certain dates, and it will give you data for those dates. So if there's something you want to look at specific, between April and May of 2021, not sure why you'd want to do that, but if you did, you would be able to come in here and do that. And like I said, the data gets updated daily, so you can come in here at any time and check information. So the link that you're going to get for this scorecard, you're going to receive your access today. And as I mentioned, this won't reset until the end of the month. So if you were to go in here today, you're going to see all of your detail up until December 31st. I really encourage you to do that so you can familiarize yourself with the platform. So come February 7th, when you get that push email, you'll know what you're doing when you come in here to take a look. In order for that to happen, there's a few steps on our end that need to take place. So everybody that has attended this session today, following this presentation, you will receive 2 emails. You'll receive an email from Microsoft that you need to do nothing at all with. It's essentially an email from the system letting you know that we've set you up with a seat to access your data. The second email you'll receive is from reports@catalystacoustics.com, and that email will have a link in it that you need to follow, and it'll send you through a few steps to get you set up with this access. That's basically it, and then you can access your data anytime you want. February 7th is the new one. You can access it today. That's essentially it. So at this time, I'd like to field any questions. Again, I know for you guys, this is a new, this whole thing is new to you. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have. And one more thing before I field questions is the link we send you that you get today, the access you get today, that link is never going to change. So even when we send you a push email to let you know that a new monthly scorecard is available, you don't need to hold on to a bunch of different links. Your access is your access. So once you have access, it's basically, that same link will always get you where you need to go. With that, Becca, I guess I'll turn it to you to field any questions that have come up.
Yeah, we don't have any questions right now, but yeah, if you just ask them in the question bar, we will get those answered. So let's hang out for another minute or two and see if any come in.
Yeah, and just quickly, guys, while we wait to see if any questions are here, if you are a rep on this call right now and you rep multiple markets for IAC, maybe you're not just an HVAC rep, you also rep the industrial or the architectural sections. In this exact dashboard, you will see access to those other markets that you have scorecards for. So if you have an industrial sales target or an architectural sales target, you'll be able to toggle between the different markets to look at the specific detail associated with that scorecard. So one link gets you everything you need.
All right, still no questions, but yeah, let's go ahead and hang out for one more minute and see if any come in. Yeah, if you think of any questions after this presentation is over, definitely reach out to your main sales lead, or you can reach out to Jen and she can answer any questions.
Yeah, so what we'll do, guys, is again, following this presentation, you're going to receive an email with a link to this recording so that you can, revisit it if you feel like you missed something. And in that email, it will also include my contact information. So if you have any questions, concerns, any trouble accessing your dashboard once you receive those 2 emails, the one from Microsoft that you need to do nothing with, and the one that will follow, that's from reports@Catalyst-Acoustics. That's the one that's going to have a link that's going to lead you to setting up access to your platform. So if there's no other questions, I appreciate your time. We look forward to continuing to be a better partner to our valued reps. You guys are the face of our products out in the market. We appreciate you, and we want to make our relationship as easy and as seamless as possible. So please reach out with any feedback, good, bad, or indifferent, and wait for those emails. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great afternoon.